All right, guys, so here we are, the Veilside Tokyo Drift RX7. Joe is making some serious headway with it. So what is your biggest challenge so far?
The big challenge so far that, I mean, the part doesn't line up right. So yeah, we have to put it on, take it out, do the modification, the adjustment, cut it, trim it, put it back on, and then until it pretty much fits.
How many times?
4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Single fender, the bumper on and off, on and off.
I mean, it's looking way better.
It is.
It's getting.
I mean, you can see all the lines, all the gaps are lined up nicely now.
So the plexiglass fits over this. This trim piece will probably have some kind of foam or rubber. And then the inside of the plexiglass will be painted black, so this will all be black.
So it gives you that highlight,
the dark look. You did point out to me that this skirt is a little sloppier than that skirt.
It has a little bit of a weight on the body itself.
You can see
so
the
it's not touchy on the way in.
Yeah,
right? Obviously, it's gonna be bolted out from the bottom.
Yeah,
but it has a slight gap.
So I mean, this is a typical problem with these body kits. And look, Veilside makes a really decent kit compared to so many others. This car has never been hit. This car's never had a crash. So we know it's not the bodywork. It's just this particular skirt on this side doesn't conform as tightly to the body as the other side. The other side actually looks pretty good. So what are you gonna do, just add material to the fiberglass?
I haven't done anything there.
But you're just gonna add material?
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit of material to it, yeah.
So the big problem, I know you mentioned this to me, were these gaps, these front fender to door gaps. Because the body kit sits so much farther out from the hinge points.
Yeah, it's tricky because it's a wide body. The insert has to, as you open the door, it has to hide inside the fender.
Right.
So it's crucial because it's a light, the fender being a light more inward, it will touch or it will rub the paint.
I see you hollowed this out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it took a lot of time modifying and making sure it doesn't rub.
Yeah.
So far, it looks good.
Yeah, because you guys, whenever I've seen these cars with these kits, I've always thought, why is the gap so big from the fender to the door? It almost has to be, because the body kit's so much wider than the actual body of the FD itself. The hinge points, you have no other choice but to keep the gap a little bigger so that when you open the door, it doesn't rub on the inside of the fender.
Exactly.
So this looks as tight as I've seen, actually.
Well, we're gonna make it better though.
Are you?
We want the gap to look actually, a lot closer.
Well, you're doing a great job. I see you're kind of rounding all the edges. That's the other problem, you guys. When you get a body kit, you know, straight from the manufacturer, one of the challenges you run into is all the edge points are square, just with a really sharp edge. So you have to go in and smooth them out, smooth out the corners.
Just block them, sand block them at first, and then obviously when you're applying the primer, it's building up more material, and then you keep doing the same process, smoothing it out, so it looks nice, smooth, like factory-wise, you could say, right? Good. And just being sharp and uneven.
So this is one of the big problems of these kits, and it's been talked about on other YouTubers that have built these cars have actually talked about this same issue, where the lift gate doesn't conform properly to the actual body kit bumper itself. And so it looks like we're going to have to...
No, we're adding material. There's no need to have a huge gap, but obviously this is how the manufacturers building their kits.
Right.
We're going to make the same gaps that we have in the rest of the car. We're going to make the same gap over here on this side.
Okay.
I mean, so when you close it, it's nice and it's even.
Yeah. I was always wondering about the taillights. So this kit didn't come with taillight brackets?
Does it come with taillight brackets? On all the videos that I've seen, builders that have been doing this in car, they don't show actually how the process or what is it that they're doing.
Yeah.
So they can put the taillight on, and I mean, obviously you have to have access, so if one of the light bulbs goes out, you can maneuver and then change it, right?
Yeah, how do you do that?
There hasn't been a video that shows that. We're gonna have to figure it out and make something.
Like maybe even put a hole in the back.
Make a
so
hole,
you can
yeah,
reach through it.
exactly. Make a hole, put a bracket on, so there's no.
Yeah, so that's the problem, because if the taillight goes out or if a bulb goes out,
Exactly.
you have to take the bumper off.
Yeah, if you want
access
to
the
change a
taillight.
light bulb, yeah, we're talking about taking off the whole bumper
Yeah,
for one light bulb.
Yeah, they have to be centered so the round circles of the bulbs on the original FD lights actually showcase properly. Wow, man, there's a lot of work, but it's looking a lot better, Joe. And then the other problem is this fuel door. So if you're going to use just a funnel and a fuel tank and just put the lid on it, and then just reach in here and take your gas door off, that's one option. But to do it properly, you have to extend the funnel, right?
We're gonna take out
extend
the
it.
whole housing from the skin of the actual quarter panel, and we're gonna attach it to the front, make it look like it's original,
That's badass.
so that the lid evens out,
Yeah.
and you won't have that hard time of pumping gas into the car.
So are you going to build like a little ridge here?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, that'll be cool.
So it's all modifications, the things you have to have in mind. Whoever builds this car, it doesn't have to, I mean, in most cases, it doesn't have to be perfect. And all these things, it's just, it may need a drifter, a race car, so that won't matter.
It's not a big deal.
But for us,
Yeah.
same on the plexiglass, the same process that we're doing on the headlights.
So
We're gonna black it out,
no rubber came with this kit?
no rubbers.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna have to
sort
get
that out.
some kind of rubber.
Yeah.
Because obviously if something happens, you're gonna be able to remove them. You can glue them on,
Yeah.
but then
Yeah, there's no.
exactly,
Is it a? No, it's a rounded glass. It's rounded.
they're
Yeah.
flat. The plexiglass, it's flat.
It's flat. Yeah, it looks like
flat.
Are they flat? Oh yeah, that's
With the same pressure,
curved a little bit.
yeah, they're gonna have to be bent.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. Oh yeah, they got a slight little bend to them. Actually, they present pretty well. But you know, that's the thing is playing around with it. You may have to sand some of the edges a little bit.
Yeah, no, I was thinking I was probably gonna have to trim them a little bit, but not.
They actually-
It has a little bit of imperfection.
Yeah,
like right there, there's
that's
a
holding
gap.
it.
Add a little bit of fiberglass to the,
Yeah.
so it seals nice.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. You want that gap to be consistent. You certainly don't want the plexiglass to be higher on that side and then shows a bigger space there. You know what would probably be a good idea, just as a precautionary thing, is after this car's all painted, we black out this whole
Yeah,
insert.
the same thing as we're gonna do with the headlights.
Yeah, just black it out all the way up to the edge.
Like for this, I'm gonna have to get the whatever rubber seal we're gonna use.
Yeah.
So it puts pressure on it, and then like yeah, you're seeing it's.
But it's probably a good idea for us to pre-fit this before
yeah,
we do it.
before the paint, obviously, yeah.
Because this is I could see this being crucial, that you don't want to have a gap right there, you know. But yeah, man, this is gonna look good. feeling pretty confident in terms of the timeline?
Yes, we are.
Okay, that's awesome.
Once a little bit more adjustments here and there, and then we're taking the whole car apart so we can gel coat and then block it, primer it, and then assemble the whole thing back again, make sure all the gaps, everything looks good, and then we can perfect paint.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's, you guys, that's one of the things we talked about on the Fast 4 Skyline build, is with the hood, whenever you're dealing with fiberglass and you want to make sure that this doesn't move around. So if you're applying, you know, putty, filler, Bondo on top of fiberglass, if you're not sealing it with gel coat, it's always going to move. It's going to take time, but right, it's going to always move.
The white stuff is gel coat. See that open area? That's the fiberglass already.
Got it.
So like you're seeing, if we don't gel coat that area, it will shrink and it will show up. It can map even when you're painting the car. So
yeah, exactly.
see, that's an open area on the fiberglass.
Got it. Yeah.
So
this body kits come pre-gel coated already, but once you start sanding it to get all the imperfections out of it, you take all that gel coat off and you apply filler. And this filler, if you're not going to put gel coat over it, it'll look great. It'll look great for a little while, but after a few months, you'll start seeing a reaction and move.
It will show
that
it's shrinking.
So I'm so glad we're doing the whole car in gel coat before we paint it. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up this video. Make sure you like and comment, please. If you have any ideas or any questions, now's a good time to put them in the comments. And we'll see you on the next one.